Coming up on today's show, we're going to be breaking down a pro football focused 2025 NFL mock draft that features Jalen Milroe. So we're going to talk about where they are picking Jalen Milroe to go in the 2025 NFL draft. And we're also going to break down some of the things they said about Jalen Milroe as well. Also, want to focus on some impressive performances, both from this past weekend against Missouri and just so far overall in this 2024 season for Alabama. Also, last thing on today's show, we're going to be talking about the New York Times suggested one Alabama coach on defense to possibly take a new job after this season is over. So that's our slate on today's show. But before we get into it, guys, I want to hear from you in the comment section. How many Alabama players do you think will be drafted in the first round of the 2025 NFL draft coming up this season? Probably is not as many as, Alabama has had in the past, but I do think they have some very good first round talent. So let me know, how many Bama players do you think will get drafted in the first round this season? All right, PFF mocked Jalen Milroe to the Las Vegas Raiders with the number 7 overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. This is what Pro Football Focus said about Jalen Milroe going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Said the Raiders will likely continue to creep their way towards the top of the draft order as their quarterback play and overall offense is not good enough to win more games than they lose. They'll be in the quarterback market this offseason, even with 2 quarterbacks already off the board and somewhat of a down quarterback class. Las Vegas will have to take a chance. Jalen Milroe might be the biggest home run swing, bringing difference-making dual threat ability and a cannon of an arm. Plus, he has improved his touch and accuracy in 2024. Now, when they talked about the other 2 quarterbacks, that was Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders going in front of him. I believe they had him 1 and 2 in that mock draft. But specifically about the part about Jalen Milroe improving his touch and his accuracy, I think there is an argument for it, but I also think there's kind of an argument against it when we look at these stats right here. The deep ball accuracy for Jalen Milroe so far this season has gone down a little bit. And now, granted, the 2023 stats you see there are for the entire season, so definitely some room for Jalen Milroe to improve on that. But we've definitely seen him miss some deep ball throws, whether that's to Ryan Williams. We saw him miss one to Kobe Prentice last week as well. Look, the intermediate passing, that's something that we talked about Jalen Milroe was going to have to improve on this season, and the completion percentage has gone up on that, but, it's just one of those things. I think he's still missing too many of those guys. He's throwing the ball more this year, so just because that, completion percentage is up a little bit, I don't know if that necessarily means, correlation equals causation there. And when you look at the overall stats through the first 8 games of the season, both last year and this season, look, the completion percentage has gone up, so that's a very positive thing. Really, everything has gone up just a little bit for Jalen Milroe, including the interceptions, unfortunately. But I don't know if that's really a big enough improvement for him to, really go in the first round of the NFL draft this year. And look, nobody wants Jalen Milroe to succeed as an Alabama fan more than I do. I really, wish he was kind of doing a little bit better, to be completely honest with you guys. But, look, I don't know if he goes in the first round of the NFL draft. Right now, in my opinion, I think he's probably a second-round option, maybe even a third-round option if he goes. I just do not think he's really taken that next step to be, to solidify himself as a first-round draft pick and a top 10 draft pick, to go along with that. So I want to hear from you guys at the pinned comment of today's video. There's a lot of different options, I think, that Jalen Milroe is going to be facing at the end of the season. So, what will Jalen Milroe do at the end of the season? Type D, if you think he's going to go into the NFL draft. Type S, if you think he's going to need another year in college to, just continue to develop and improve. Type S, if you think he'll stay at Alabama for another season, which ultimately probably would affect Ty Simpson a little bit there. Or type T, if you think he's going to transfer, because like I said, Ty Simpson's been, very patient, waiting there as that quarterback too. And if Jalen Milroe's not going to improve enough this season to go to the NFL draft, I think there's a decent shot that he does transfer. So let me know at the pinned comment of today's video. That ad's going to come here on YouTube. That's totally fine. You can ignore it. Go down there to the pinned comment and let me know what you guys think. Also want to give, just some praise to some of these guys that I think have been playing really well for Alabama so far this season, and specifically last week against Missouri. Parker Brailsford has been really incredible for you this year at center. Obviously, he transferred from Washington that last year. We had Seth McLaughlin last year. All those snapping issues that really wanted to make us jump off a bridge at the end of the day. You're not really having to deal with that a lot this year with Parker Brailsford. And look, this past weekend against Missouri, he's just another good, solid game from Parker Brailsford. 32 pass block snaps, 0 pressures allowed, 86.2 pass block grade per those PFF grades. Man, Parker Brailsford, he's been absolutely incredible for you, really anchoring down that offensive line. And to be completely honest, I think he's one of your top 2 offensive linemen this year. I mean, what he's done specifically in pass protection has been incredible. He's only allowed 4 quarterback pressures so far this year. He's only had 3 penalties on 478 snaps. You can't really ask for much more than that. Hasn't given up a sack either. I think if there's one thing you could really nitpick with Parker Brailsford is his run blocking grade, but I do think he is improving on that. He had some pancake blocks this past weekend against Missouri. There was this one play, I think it might have been the touchdown run for Justice Haynes. It might have been another one that Justice Haynes broke off as well, now that I'm thinking about it. But he went down there, he was busting it downfield, and he just drove his guy into the dirt about 15 yards downfield. So Parker Brailsford, man, has really been incredible. I think he's been an upgrade for you at that center position. And Kadyn Proctor, I really want to shout him out as well. I think he has probably been one of the most improved players on this entire team so far this year. And remember, he missed the first couple of games of the season as well with that shoulder injury. So looking here at the first 6 games, taking out, obviously, those first couple games that he missed, from this year. So looking at last year compared to this year, man, that improvement is absolutely ridiculous. The first 6 games last year, he gave up 16 quarterback pressures. That was bad, and that's not including that just god-awful Arkansas game that he had as well. It cut off the game right before that, actually. But, go into this year, just 1 year of improvement at that left tackle spot for Kadyn Proctor, man. He's been really, really good for you. He has gotten beat a couple of times. He got beat this past weekend. That's that one sack you see right there was from this past weekend. But look, it took 6 games for him to give up a sack. I think that is a very, very positive improvement. Look at that pass block grade. Look at the run block grade. Everything around Kadyn Proctor, I think, is improved. I think dropping a little bit of weight has really helped his athletic ability and just not getting beat on the outside. So really wanted to shout out Kadyn Proctor and Parker Brailsford on today's show. So who has been Alabama's best offensive lineman so far this season? I know I've picked on the offensive line a lot, but I really do think Parker Brailsford and Kadyn Proctor have been your top 2 guys so far this year. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Let me know who you think has been Alabama's best offensive lineman this season. And while you guys are down there, why don't you click on that link for Game Time, because they are the sponsor of today's show. Look, man, Game Time is the only ticketing app I use, and I have used it long before they were a sponsor here at the Alabama Football Report. Game Time has a new feature now called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands and thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks is just curation. It makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. Game Time has killer last-minute deals. They have all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest prices guaranteed. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will actually credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time even has ticket coverage as well. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last-minute tickets. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's video. Download Game Time today, because what time is it? It's game time. I also want to give a shout out to Bray Hubbard as well. I thought he played really, really good in his first start this past weekend, for Alabama against Missouri. Looking at his stats right here, 3 for 6 targets, 2 receptions, only giving up 17 yards so far in that game. Had that one interception. I really think it was, funny hearing Malachi Moore talk about the fact that Bray Hubbard actually blacked out when he got that interception. So really, really happy for this kid. And one of the most impressive things that I saw, from those Pro Football Focus stats with the 16.7 quarterback rating. That is absolutely phenomenal. And to put it into perspective, Keon Sabb's best game so far this season was versus Tennessee, actually, when he had that broken foot issue. He had a 42.4 quarterback pressure rating. So, I think just what Bray Hubbard was able to do last weekend for you against Missouri was really, really big. And look, I'm very excited to see what he can do moving forward as one of Alabama's starting safeties this year. I think, my confidence level in Bray Hubbard definitely went up after watching him this past week. Look, hopefully yours did too. So I want to hear from you guys one more time in the comments section. Has your confidence level in Bray Hubbard gone up now that you have gotten a chance to really see him perform? I know we asked that to, scale your confidence level 1 to 10 last week, and a lot of you guys said, I don't really know, haven't really seen him play yet. Well, you've seen him play one game now, so let me know, has your confidence level gone up in Bray Hubbard? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments section right now. There's also been some coaching rumors out there. We discussed some last week as well. The New York Times suggested that Alabama's co-defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach Mo Linguist as the head coach of the Rice Owls. They have not been very good this year. I think they've started off the season now, 2-6. So they fired their head coach. This is what the New York Times suggested about Mo Linguist to Rice. He said, Alabama co-DC Mo Linguist just left the Buffalo head coaching job last season to go to Alabama, but Linguist is a Dallas native with deep Texas connections. He coached at Texas A&M from 2018 to 2019 and has pulled some key recruits out of Texas at various coaching stops. He went 14-23 in 3 seasons in Buffalo, including a 7-6 record in 2022. Now, I kind of said this, pretty much the same thing about those coaching rumors we saw last week, but I really do think it's a downgrade. And, when you're in the coaching industry, that's kind of how you think of, everything. Is it going to be a lateral move? Is it a downgrade? Is it an upgrade of a job? Really, I think you think that in any industry when it comes to, do you want to change jobs or not? And look, I understand it is a head coaching position, but he already left a head coaching job to come here to the University of Alabama. In my opinion, going from Buffalo's head coach to, co-DC/DB coach for Alabama, that to me is an upgrade. So I don't really know why you would go, kind of backwards and be the head coach of the Rice Owls. I think if, one of these Alabama coaches were to go and take another job, I would assume it would have to be, one of those bigger Power 4 schools right now. So for right now, I just don't see this happening, but I do like Coach Mo, and I think he's a very good coach, and he is definitely going to get another shot to be a head coach somewhere. I just personally don't think it's going to be with the Rice Owls next season. Make sure you guys are also subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. Our long-term outlook goal. I want to catch our Michigan Football Report channel. They started way before us, so we definitely have some catching up to do. But with our watch parties and everything like that we do, we put out more videos and stuff. I think, at least by the start of next season, I think we have a good shot to catch the Michigan Football Report. So do not miss out on any Alabama football news and rumors or watch parties as well. Hit that subscribe button for me right now.